Hello, NAB Las Vegas. My name is Nick Walsh, and I'm a producer at LiveX. And today we are at booth 7114 in South Upper with Wowza Studio Sessions. We're talking to a ton of people about how they're using Wowza products, their low latency stuff, their Clearcaster encoders, and we're also getting our feet on the ground and talking with people who make the switchers, everything that gets fed into all of the Wowza stuff. So today I have with me is Tim from vMix, and today we're going to talk about their amazing software switcher and all the great capabilities it has, and how fast you guys come out with new things and being on the bleeding edge of technology. I have to disclaimer, I use vMix probably every single day, I'd say. So I think, and right, this is a good place to be. Yeah. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and about vMix?
Well, we're from Australia, so pardon the accent. You know, if you do need any clarification about words, just
all right.
nod along, or you can ask me later on. But yeah, so we're an Australian company, and we've been building live streaming and live production software for, I don't know, it's been about 10 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
Close to 10 years since we've been around. Obviously, live streaming has become a lot more popular lately.
Right.
Mainly for live events initially, like live productions for sporting events or houses of worship or concerts and that type of thing, but obviously moved a lot more into streaming now.
Yeah.
And it's just become such a big thing for us.
Yeah,
it's been good.
Yeah, it's been growing and growing. It's if you're at NAB, we've been seeing the badges, so like everyone knows us now.
Well, everyone has to know us now because we're the lanyard people.
Yeah, you are the lanyard people.
They don't know what we do, but it's like they're on the lanyard. So
yeah, exactly. But it gets so many people to like drop by who had no idea.
It's true.
Yeah, it's great.
And we actually have people that have said, like even this year, like, oh, I bought your product based on that. So they came by the booth, and
that's amazing. Yeah, it works. Yeah.
It's always good. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta get the lanyards. That's a secret to NAB.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you guys just released vMix 22. So why don't you tell me a little bit about that and the new features you guys have?
Yeah. So for those that don't know, vMix is just it's a live production software. So it allows you to bring in cameras, videos, graphics, social media, anything you can think of really that you want to use in a video production. You can bring that into our software, and then you can stream it out. You can use the amazing Wowza Cloud. We have an API built in directly, so you can stream directly to the old Wowza. But then you can set it out to everywhere else you want, or you could send it out externally to a Clearcaster and then send it off that way. So you can use it as a way to get it to your encoder. So that's kind of what vMix is. We have support for 4K, instant replay, all that kind of stuff. So trying to shrink down a big switcher into a piece of software.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing. Especially so many productions are turning into like a one-person band thing.
Yeah.
Where like one person, like for example, right now, our producer is doing the whole thing by herself. And so stuff like vMix with just so feature-packed and like taking advantages of how like Intel chips and GPUs and just like taking full advantage of all of the advancements and being able to shove a lot into it. You're doing like replay and loading up assets and H.264 recording all at the same time and keeping it fast and snappy to keep up with the live production. So it's really a great achievement.
It's been crazy. Like the further we get with it, obviously the technology gets better and have the ability to do more things. So like you said, in 22, that's our latest version. We built our own graphics engine from the ground up.
Cool.
So that was one of the big things that people like. We need to have more CG. We want to be able to build our own graphics, but we don't want to have a CG person or a separate dedicated hardware system to be able to do that. So we kind of listened to everybody and went from the ground up, and it's a simple sort of editor. We're not out to, replace Chiron or anyone but it's good enough for people that are trying to do live sports for live graphics for video or lower thirds or bugs and that type of thing.
Right. Yeah, once you guys came up with the key fill output with the black magic cards, that's what we've been doing a lot. If we're not using vMix as our main switcher, we're using it for graphics and playback. So what we're doing right now actually, it's so great, especially just how you guys handle codecs and that the fact that I don't need to transcode every asset that comes in or like import things and just like keeping it snappy. It's been great. We've been like all week this week just hearing someone talk about something and being like, let's grab a picture of that from a website and just drag it right in. And it's just it's insane. There's like not a lot of, because I've used like TriCaster before, and a lot of stuff you just like have to import things, and it makes sense. Like they want to like keep processing down and not have to worry about like playing all these different types of codecs. But to have something I could just like plug into a file and drag it on, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it makes things handy, especially in like a high pressure situation or like a live video, and you've got to make sure that you've got the right assets, and someone's like, tap you on the shoulder and like, oh, we need this.
Yeah,
next,
yeah, right, like right
next
now.
section.
Yeah.
Can you bring that in?
Yeah.
That's one of the good things about being able to
and exactly
include all of that as soon as you need it.
Yeah, and especially all the customization too, with all the shortcuts and the scripting and like all the amazing stuff you could do. How did that come together? Do you like consider yourselves like kind of like hackery, and that's why you could have like all these shortcuts and solutions, or like what is the impetus behind that?
Yeah, with our software, we kind of, I say we usually get a lot of stowaways from other, like either hardware or software solutions that they couldn't do something. So we end up with all of these people that are kind of like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? You know, and so we've kind of taken that on board and tried to make it as accessible as possible to all these people that are looking for a specific feature that we can potentially add and provide a reliable solution plus what they need. So
that's great.
We found that the shortcuts has been really important for us with the triggering and stuff as well. So I can press a button on a keyboard or a MIDI controller, X keys, Stream Deck, Xbox controller, and just make it do things. So we find that kind of fun. So
me too. I did.
Really easy.
I was able to do a show myself with like 3 PTZ cameras and an Xbox controller, and I I used the template, but I changed it a little bit, and I actually put the like take button on the controller also. So I was like, I never need to leave the controller.
So we just for April Fools we added voice control.
Right. So very
I thought it was a bit of a joke, like having a voice assistant inside of the video switcher, like a production switcher. And so we kind of didn't push it as a big feature. We just said, hey, this kind of works. Voice is unreliable. Like text-to-speech is unreliable.
Right.
So you better off pushing a button.
Right.
But we just thought it would be fun to be able to add it. And we've had actually feedback of like proper uses for people that maybe might not have like use of their hands or arms or something that they can actually just use their voice for.
And is it like word specific, or like can it tell the difference between words, or is it just like does it hear volume and like kind of?
It's phrases. So you type in exactly what you want the shortcut to be. Like say switch to camera 1.
And
then it will switch to the camera 1 if you set that as the cut.
That's crazy. Cause sometimes you're like octopussing and you don't have anything to use, and if you're like calling keys anyway, then that's great. And then it'd be funny to see like how like arm it and not arm it, so if you're like using it for some things and not others that you don't accidentally trigger, so that sounds like a fun time to figure out.
I was talking to some guys that have a massive YouTube channel. They do a lot of live stuff now, and they were saying that it'd be cool to like have a secret code word that only they know about. They program into vMix and they say it on the show like with the prompter and something crazy pops up, like 3D graphics or like confetti pops up.
That'd be really cool. I'd love to. Right, because you did just pull in a mic and just like pull all the like the
keywords use it. So you can use a system mic, all the master audio or anything.
Cool. Wow, that's amazing. That's great. And some of the other things we're using vMix for at LiveX is for just pure playback. We actually we do the ball drop in Times Square every year, and this year we built our own trailer.
I think I saw a photo of that.
Cool. So we actually, for all of our playback, our whole show is interviewing all the people who have been out in the cold or in the rain. They come from all over the world. They've been standing out there for 12 hours, and so we interview like hundreds of them. And so we just need something that we could play things back into and then immediately turn it around. So we were able to use 2 production bots with vMix. We just had one output for each of them, and we were just ingesting H.264 to a NAS, and we just like had everything connected just over 1 gig switches, and we were just able to just like drag things in, trim them up, play them out, and it was really, really fantastic. It was like amazing to, instead of needing a whole like $80,000 EVS system, whatever, you could do something with vMix and production bots. So that was a really, really cool experience.
That whole ninja thing with him dancing outside, on the live stream?
Yeah, that was us. I
saw that, and as soon as I saw it, it's been a running joke in our office. Like,
really? That was us.
That whole like, this is completely off topic, but the whole like, I think he said, I'm not seeing enough movement. Is that what you're trying to get people to do the dancing?
Right. They're just trying to get, but it's like,
that's a quote in our office now.
Oh, really? That's amazing. I saw it the next day on like r/cringe. I was like, made it, I guess.
It's huge. Like it went massive.
Wow, that's hilarious. That's one cool. And then, so I guess on the topic of esports, what is vMix doing in the esports space?
Yeah, we have a lot of people that use vMix for esports because it's like with NDI, like screen capture and that sort of thing. Instead of having to need SDI or HDMI out from the monitor, they're just connecting up a huge network and being able to bring in all of the screens, all the gameplay into vMix, and then being able to switch between the gameplay, creating replay, like some of the big esports leagues use vMix for the replay and that
Yeah.
type of thing. So they're bringing that in and then feeding that back out to their huge switches and stuff,
Right.
just for replay and
Yeah, it's
all sorts
amazing.
of ways. And some universities in the States now have an esports scholarship.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have universities that use vMix.
Wow.
For like even like practicing casting. Like
Yeah.
so they have an esports team with scholarships and big training facilities. But then they also use vMix for like the video production of that, scrimmages, big events they do, and then like practicing casting and like commentating on the esports.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all over the place with it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's getting so big, and you've got people like that are like say normal Twitch streamers.
Mhm.
That are now entering like smaller competitions, and it's kind of the community's getting bigger.
Yeah.
And it's working its way up to the big, Intel Extreme Masters and
Right.
big like League of Legends and Dota tournaments and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fascinating. Just like following esports, just technically, it's just been insane. Especially with all the battle royale games, it's just like people need like 200 inputs on a show now. It's just like insane.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun to watch and also see like just sports just figure it out, and just like learning and like building things for players and stuff. And also the whole with the whole Twitch paradigm, there's some players who don't want to play competitively because they need to be playing it because they'll play, like Ninja will play like 6 days a week or whatever, and will like not go to some of the tournaments that like have prize money attached to it because he makes more money doing Twitch stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like a really interesting paradigm that like now to be like an esports celebrity, you have to do like content all the time.
Yeah.
It's like more like not just like competing. You have so much work that you have to do.
Yeah, I know. Like I know a few managers of the video management teams of the esports team.
Yeah.
So those guys are like helping doing live streams of not necessarily like the scrimmage type things that they do in the teams, but also just them doing like on public servers and that as well.
Yeah.
So they've got to be doing live streaming and they've got to be practicing and then they've got to go to tournaments and that.
Yeah.
And they all like usually live in the same house.
Yeah.
And then, it's a crazy place to be.
Yeah, it's interesting. And also like I follow Fortnite a lot actually. And their whole World Cup is a lot of it's just like online. So they've done a broadcast where everyone was at home and they're still just like a normal broadcast, like pulling in all their feeds, and it's just like amazing.
Yeah. It's way cheaper to do like qualifying online than having like 10,000 people like in each country and then go that way. Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. All right, so it was really great talking with you. Is there any other thing about vMix 22 or anything else you want to throw out there?
Not particularly. You can drop by our booth. I don't know the name of it, number of it.
Oh.
I think it's 7927 South Lower Hall.
Yeah.
Or you can look on the lanyards. That might remind you. Ask somebody where we are.
Right.
We're around the place. But yeah, I don't have anything else to add really. But thanks for having me.
Great, yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks to you guys for watching here at NAB Wowza Studio Sessions. Make sure you tune in at 1:45. But first, go to the App Store, download the Trivia Wow app. We're going to be doing Trivia Wow, basically a classic trivia game that's highlighting Wowza's ultra-low latency platform. So make sure you download that in time for our show at 1:45 p.m. Once we go down here, we'll be setting up for that and going up. So thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one.